everyone, we're back for another mindfulness and music video. This is the mindfulness part. Today I'd like to start our mindfulness session by just teaching you a new mindful breath. Sometimes I call it the gimme five breath, or sometimes people call it the hand breaths, as you might imagine. I use my hand, and I'm just going to trace one finger as I breathe up, my thumb, and then exhale as I go down. Then breathe in, up the index finger, down the index finger, and up the middle finger, down. Then we come to our ring finger. Breathe down, breathing in, and breathing out. So there we just took 5 mindful breaths. Mindfulness being just being aware of what we're doing as we're doing it. So right there we were breathing in, aware we were breathing in, breathing out, we're breathing, aware we're breathing out. So that's the gimme 5 mindfulness breath. If you want to go back, sometimes you can trace back and then it'd be called gimme 10, right? So today, so you can tick that in your toolbox and use it whenever you want to take a mindful breath. And actually today what I wanted our lesson to focus on is calming breaths. So this is a great calming breath. Now mindfulness is not only calmness. Mindfulness can be energized, it can be joyful, it can be playful. Mindfulness can happen between people. It doesn't always have to be something we're just doing on our own. As you probably remember in an earlier video, I mentioned that sports teams have a mindfulness coach on staff. So that means they're playing soccer, they're playing basketball mindfully, and it's joyful, it's intense, it's energetic, but the mindful piece is that awareness piece, that they're really in the present moment with what they're doing. So just to be clear, mindfulness can have many different styles and flavors, but today we will focus on calming because mindfulness can be great when we need to calm ourselves down. Has anyone ever told you that you need to calm down? Give me a thumbs up. Maybe that person is a teacher. 30 kids come into a classroom and the teacher needs things to calm down. Maybe that person is a parent. It's the end of a busy day where they're making dinner and they need you to kind of calm for a moment or two to help make dinner or to set the table, or maybe right before bed they want you to kind of calm down. So there's a lot of different reasons why we might want to calm down, and it's a great skill to have and a great skill to build. With learning specifically and the ability to focus, we do want to be calm so that we can take in what we want to learn, right? We're not just distracted and kind of chaotic. We have that ability to focus and be calm. So another time that we might want to use our calming breaths or use mindfulness to help us calm down is when we have a strong emotion, when we feel really angry about something, we feel really frustrated, we feel sad. That mindful breath can really help us to just calm ourselves, to take care of ourselves in those moments of challenge. So what I wanted to do is teach us a bunch of different mindful breaths that can help us to calm down. We already did the gimme 5. So again, if you do that nice and slow, that can definitely calm you down. Another one that I really like to do is just practice with my hands on my heart and so we'll practice taking 3 mindful breaths together. So let's call this our heart breath, hands on heart, breathing in slowly for 1. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. You probably notice that I'm breathing in through my nose and I'm breathing out through my mouth. Sometimes that can actually really calm us down, to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Another calming breath that I like is to put one hand on heart and the other hand on belly. Not sure if you can see that as well. Maybe I'll adjust the screen down a little bit so you can see that my hands go one hand on belly, one hand on heart. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And one more, breathing in, breathing out. Really nice. That just makes us kind of feel held, and it's a nice calming breath. Um, Another calming breath is actually something I like to call the hug breath, where you just hold yourself. You kind of give yourself a hug. Give me a thumbs up if sometimes in the middle of the day it'd be nice to have a lovely hug from someone that you care about. So in this way we can just kind of really care for ourselves. Again, when we have that strong emotion of anger or frustration, sometimes just giving ourselves a nice hug can help us to calm down. So let's take three nice hug breaths. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I kind of felt a smile on my mouth, my face as I was doing the hug breath. Something about that hug breath feels just so cozy. And so maybe you also noticed that you were smiling as well. And that goes a long way to show us that we're kind of starting to turn that high energy into a more soothing energy. Another great way to work to calm yourself down is a counting breath where you count in, breathe in on one, and then as you breathe out, you also think one. Then you breathe in on two, and you breathe out and you think two. It's nice to add a hand gesture. So you breathe in, filling up, and then blowing your air out. That's one. In for two, out for two. In for three, out for three. In for four, out for four. In for five, out for five. So this counting breath is kind of cool. You kind of get this nice movement going, and you again kind of can self-soothe, kind of calm yourself down with our counting breath. I just call that the counting breath. You can do 5, you could do 10. The only rule is though with the counting breath, if you are counting and then you suddenly lose track, you have to go back to 1. So anytime you're counting your breaths and you lose track, the rule is you have to go back to 1. This is kind of a fun one in bed at night. Give me a thumbs up if you ever have trouble falling asleep at night. When I work with students, a lot of students say that they do have trouble sometimes at night falling asleep. So counting your breath can be really helpful. It's a great way to just kind of relax yourself into sleep. So there, I wouldn't do the gesture. I would just put hands on heart or maybe hands on belly while you're asleep in bed. And then count your breaths. In for 1, out for 1, in for 2, out for 2. And of course, you're just counting silently inside your mind. That one, it's easy to forget the numbers. I know I've tried that. I do that a lot. And so then I always go back to 1. One more tip on the counting breath. If you are really angry, if you are really frustrated, if you are really stressed out, it's good to just stay with 1. So I'm super angry. I breathe in for 1. I breathe out for 1. I'm still feeling super angry. I'm just going to stay with 1. Breathe in 1 mindful breath. Breathe out 1 mindful breath. Breathe in 1 mindful breath. Breathe out 1 mindful breath. And when you start to feel yourself settling, you can start to move beyond the number 1. But sometimes just staying with 1 is a great idea if you really have a lot of intense energy. So your mindful challenge, until I see you next time, is to practice one of those breaths, the hug breath, the heart breath, the hand on heart, hand on belly breath, the counting breath, the give me 5 breath. So you have a bunch of different breaths now that you can use in moments when you want to calm yourself. So my challenge is that you do that once a day until we see each other again and see how it works for you. And you could also make up your own breath if you want to. If you're feeling creative and there's some kind of breath that you want to make up, you're always empowered to do that, to use your imagination and your creativity. It's nice to see you. I'm going to go to the piano. Let's meet each other over there for our singing that's connected to calmness. Hi everyone, here we are back at the piano. So our mindfulness lesson was about calming breaths today, using mindfulness to calm ourselves down. So I'm super excited for the music portion because it connects to one of my favorite kinds of songs, which are lullabies. Go ahead and tell me what a lullaby is. Do you already know? I think you probably already do. If you know, just tell me right now. If you said that a lullaby is a song that a mother will use to help a baby fall asleep, then you are exactly right. And what a perfect way to connect with our calming breaths, our calming songs. So some music is very energetic and it gets us dancing and moving and grooving and feeling all kinds of things. And other music can really calm us down in such a beautiful way. And lullabies is one of those types of music. So today I have two songs that I am going to be working with to teach you. One is an American lullaby called All the Pretty Little Horses. And this lullaby is part of what's called folk music. Let me tell you what folk music is. Folk music is when we're not sure who wrote the song. A lot of times we know the composer, we know the artist, we know that Mozart wrote The Marriage of Figaro, we know that Stevie Wonder wrote Sir Duke, we know that different songwriters write specific songs, but sometimes we're not sure. The song gets created by someone and they sing it to someone and that person sings it to someone else and they sing it to someone else, and after a while we kind of lost track of who wrote the song, but the song is so wonderful that it continues. So we call songs like that we're not sure who wrote it, folk music. And there is a nice connection in storytelling. Folk tales get passed down generation through generation, and sometimes we're not sure who created that story, where the story first came from, but the story keeps on going because it's a good story. So the first lullaby that I'd like to sing for you is called All the Pretty Little Horses. I'm going to play it for you on the piano just so you can hear the melody. So most lullabies, not all, but most, the melody is very soothing. It has a gentle quality to it to help the baby fall asleep. So as I'm playing this, you might want to close your eyes, just imagine a scene and see what kinds of things the music helps you to imagine. As the title is All the Pretty Little Horses, you might imagine a horse. It also might tell us that this song comes from an earlier time where people had horses before they had cars, right? That was the way they got around in the world. So this kind of points to maybe the western part of the United States, an earlier time than right now, where we don't always have horses anymore. So that just gives you a sense of the melody, and I'm going to print up the words. You should be able to see them there on a downloadable PDF. I'll print up the words for both these songs so you can have them there to see for yourself. Let me say the words first for this song. Hushabye, don't you cry. Go to sleep, my little baby. So let's echo that back. I'll start off. Hushabye, don't you cry. Go to sleep, my little baby. When you wake, meaning when you wake up, right? You shall have, so let's try that echoing. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses. All the pretty little horses. And there was where we get our title, right? Then we have a list of horses. Oaks and bays, dapples and grays, dapples and grays, coach and 6 of little horses, coach and 6 of little horses. So we have different styles of horses. Part of your music challenge for this week might be to go online and look up different pictures of different horses. What does an oak look like? What does a bay look like? What does a dapple look like? I'll give you a hint there. The dapple means they usually have spots. Coach and 6 of little horses, so that horse-drawn carriage, right, where you would see there could be just 2 horses, even 1 horse, but in this, how many do we have? Do you remember? Coach and 6 of little horses. So there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in groups of 2. There's 3 groups of 2, which gives us our 6 little horses drawing our carriage. So I'm going to just sing this a cappella for you. A cappella means no other accompaniment. But you do have the piano part to go back and listen to if you want help with the melody. So it starts off, Hushabye, don't you cry, go to sleep, my little baby. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses, oaks and bays, dapples and grays, coach and 6 of little horses. So one more time, I'll sing that one more time. Hushabye, don't you cry. Sing with me. Hushabye, don't you cry. Go to sleep, my little baby. Can you tell that go is kind of high? Let's sing that together. Go to sleep, my little baby. It starts high and then it steps down. Let's try it one more time from the beginning. Hushabye, don't you cry. And then the high note. Go to sleep, my little baby. Then the melody, when you wake. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses. So those have the same melody, Hushabye, and also when you wake. Can you tell that's the same pitches but different words, but the same melody? Now we have the low part. Oaks and bays, dapples and grays, coach and 6 of little horses. So one more time. Oaks and bays, sing with me. Oaks and bays. Then it gets a little bit higher. Dapples and grays. Let's sing the dapples and grays. Dapples and grays. Then a high note. Coach and 6 of little horses. Let's put it all together from the very beginning. I'm moving my hands to kind of show when the notes are going up or going down. Eventually you could make some gestures like Hushabye, don't you cry, go to sleep, my little baby. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses. And you can kind of pretend to ride a horse, right? But let's go back to the beginning and sing it one more time together. Maybe I'll throw in some gestures to help us. And you can always create your own gestures once you know the song. So Hushabye. Hushabye, don't you cry. Go to sleep, my little baby. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses, oaks and bays, dapples and grays, coach and 6 of little horses. So the last little calming song I wanted to leave you with is called Beautiful Dreamer, and it's by Stephen Foster. He's an American treasure, a composer, a songwriter, and you should know about him, so put him on your radar. Stephen Foster wrote this song called Beautiful Dreamer, and I'm just going to sing a little bit of it for you, and you can come back and listen to it. Again, the lyrics will be on the sheet that you can download. And it's a beautiful song about actually kind of waking someone up. Listen to the lyrics and see if you can see what it's about. Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. So this person, beautiful dreamer, someone's asleep, wake unto me. I'm waking them up. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. So we're kind of waking them up into the beautiful world of starlight and dewdrops. Maybe it's a baby that's taken a nap and now it's time for them to get up and have dinner. Sounds of the rude world, rude meaning kind of mean or not polite. So like a loud horn honking would be rude. People yelling at each other is definitely rude. So in the song, again, the songwriter saying, the sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight. Lulled is a beautiful connection because lulled is how we get the word lullaby. Lull, to lull something means to calm it or soothe it, like our calming breaths for our mindfulness or our beautiful lullaby songs. So lulled by the moonlight have all passed away. What's passed away? The rude sounds of the world. So listen one more time and then you can come back and revisit this, or your music challenge is to find some cool lullabies. Ask your parents if there's some lullabies they know, what lullabies are already in your family. And then you can also Google search some cool lullabies. You can look up this song, Beautiful Dreamer. There's a lot of great versions of this song. So I'll sing it one more time for you. Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Thanks so much for being here today. I look forward to seeing you in a future lesson. Bye.